Hello, I'm Emily Clifford, and I forgot to record my session. So I'm going to give you an overview over what our session went over and what participants shared and some spots that they were looking for some more support. So my topic was how to structure your classroom in this hybrid format that we have. And when the session first started, I asked my super awesome group to go back to the main page that gave all the different meets and to click on a survey. So the survey basically asked, what are some routines that are working well? What do you need to do? What do you do when you need to transition to another part of class and you know you need a few more minutes? And what is a hybrid classroom problem or irritation that you wish you could find a better solution for? And I'm going to present that so that you can see what that survey looked like. Also, if you want to take the survey, thank you, and I will send you the link. All right. So once we had the responses, I was able to go through and just talk about general trends. So for the first question, what are some routines that you put in place that are working well? Generally speaking, and my group was mostly veteran teachers with a couple newer teachers, like maybe first year and um, like a couple years into it. And really just like a great classroom practice is to always have some sort of bell ringer or do now activity. And so that's what a lot of people had success with. Another thing that we added on was that Pear Deck was a preferred format. People felt that Pear Deck was more interactive and really, really liked to have um, that format. I use a lot of surveys. I use a lot of other, like slides to give them prompts. So it just really depends on the format that you enjoy. Another thing that is important, because this is new for everyone, it might be a nice idea to have a slide. Once you're done doing that great initiation activity, have a slide which just reinforces, especially for the kids at home, those norms that they're still learning, which is making sure the camera is pointed at your face, making sure that you have tested your mic so that you know if everything is working, things like that. And of course, one of the newer teachers had an excellent point, and of course, we want to always check in with the students and see how they're doing. Even if we don't get a ton of response, it's so nice to be able to have the students take a moment, reorient themselves to your classroom and your expectations, and that they're a valued member of your class as they go shuttling through all of their different classes and different formats throughout the day. So the next question was, what do you need to do to transition um, when you transition to another part of class? You need a couple more minutes. So a lot of people said a very similar thing, which is try to get as much done way in advance. So if you know you have that transition, to set up like a mini activity, to set up some sort of a task for them to do, um, to make sure your breakout groups are accessible, to make sure that the grouping of the students is already done. So that's something that, of course, is good practice, but it is hard to anticipate every time you're going to need to transition due to a tech difficulty, or you're trying to put like a new piece of technology in class, or something else happens and you want to adapt. And so we brought up the point of possibly having as a part of your prioritized Google Classroom um, section, meaning like where you might put the breakout groups at the top, or where you might put some important information that they need to check in, what like if they could reference with your class. So if the kids know that there's a spot that's prioritized for links like that, you could always have a Google survey ready to go, just asking them like, what are you guys doing right now? What's going on with your life and your interests? What crazy phone games are you all playing? It could be something more based on your content area. And that could be just ready to go at a moment's notice. The answers would change throughout the year, and you would get interesting information from the kids, and they would be able to do something for a couple minutes while you're figuring out how to best deploy the tech or to solve your problem. And the last question was, what is the hybrid classroom problem or irritation you wish you could find a better solution for. So we started talking about um, Google Meet breakout groups, because a big concern was some groups tend to not talk as long as other groups, and it's frustrating when you are giving them this time in class where they can be in small groups to share their opinion, to work out their thoughts, and they don't seem to be using it as you intended. One of the participants mentioned she gives a Google survey so that the kids can write down what um, can write down what they, I'm sorry, the students can write down other students in class they are comfortable working with, whether that's a long-term assignment, a short-term assignment, but it gives students some choice. And because it's a discussion group, maybe it's nice to honor more student choice there because they'll be more comfortable doing that. Another teacher mentioned that she runs the breakout groups off of her Chromebook. So once she gets the class group started and the breakout group started, she goes out in the hall and she monitors back and forth on the different breakout groups online so that she can pop in and talk to them, but not disturb the kids in class. And something that I do is I do basically the same thing only in class, and I keep it on the sound field speaker turned down slightly so that we can still hear like a pleasant murmur. But at the same time, I can easily monitor the kids in the class as well as outside of the class. Those are really the things that we spoke about. We didn't get a chance to talk about expanding options, or possibly working with the kids one-on-one in a group setting. So those are areas that we're looking for more suggestions and creativity, possibly from the larger Inc. group or from other colleagues. So I'm so sorry you didn't get to see my amazing group of participants with their great ideas, but you had basically the experience because I went over all the big points. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope in the future I remember to record this. Thanks.